This is Network Africa. Coming up on the program, South Africa opposition party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, prepared to call for President Jacob Zuma to be removed from office just after the concluded local elections. Then musicians show support for candidates of the Zambia general elections, which begin tomorrow. And later, Egyptian authorities bar police from talking to the press. Thanks for staying tuned to Network Africa on Channels Television with me, Cynthia Are. It's been exactly 1 week since South Africans headed to the polls, which saw the ruling ANC suffer a huge defeat, losing major municipalities to the Democratic Alliance, also known as DA, and the Economic Freedom Fighters, that's EFF. Speaking of the EFF, the opposition party is expected to demand President Jacob Zuma's removal as president if they were to become coalition partners with the ANC in South Africa's prime metropolitan municipalities. Having suffered significant losses, the ANC is on a mission to enter into coalition talks so it can claw back power in the country's 27 hung municipalities. Analysts say the ANC is so desperate to hang on to power in the metros and cities that it lost in the week's humiliating elections, that it's now dangling carrots in front of possible coalition partners. Joining us from Johannesburg is the CEO of Junto Media, Mr. Lucas Malloy. Mr. Malloy, thank you very much for joining us on Network Africa.
Hi, Cynthia. Thank you very much, and good day to your viewers.
Good day to you as well, Mr. Malloy. Now, is the ANC really dangling the carrot in front of potential coalition partners?
I don't know even if we can say they're dangling the carrot is the right word for them. Where they are sitting at the moment, they are sitting at a point where they really need to find a coalition if they are to govern in any of the metros. And you must remember that these are the metros in the Gauteng region, which is very important because this is the economic hub of the country and we could say of the continent itself. So if they do not get coalitions in those parts, they would have lost the bigger part of what makes the economy of the country.
Well, Mr. Malloy, how well could the ANC work with parties like the DA or the EFF in the event that they actually decide to take ANC's offer? I mean, a red flag is what we're hearing about the EFF expecting to call for President Jacob Zuma's removal.
Look, that will not come as a surprise. This is what the EFF has been campaigning for from the beginning of their term in office, to say that, and then we have seen it getting stronger with cases such as the Constitutional Court finding the president, ruling against the president, and that. Now you find the EFF campaigning strongly about on their belief that the president should step down because he has infringed on the Constitution and that. So this just gives them that power whereby now they've got what the ANC wants more. They've got the number which could be able to still decide for the ANC to govern on this metros. So they probably hoping also that they can be able to get the agenda going by removing the president if they hold such a percentage that the ANC needs for that. Whether is the ANC even approaching or able to work with the DA and that, one could say possibly very unlikely. But yeah, politics are something else. I think it's very unlikely because if you look at the two political parties, you can understand that they are completely different parties. Their fundamentals are not the same. They do not, perhaps, are not even looking for the same things. So that coalition, I personally don't see how will that one work between the ANC and the DA.
Mr. Malloy, what do the EFF and DA have to offer the everyday man on the streets of South Africa? That's my final question.
Look, the easiest thing that has been able to draw votes to these political parties was very simple, to say that we will do right when the ANC has been getting wrong. Now, when you have been getting things wrong for that long time, it's easy for someone to come in and say, I'm going to sweep very clean. It hasn't gotten to the details of what people do or what these political parties would be able to do. We've had the DA saying this today. There has been quite talks about sweeping clean also, again, making sure that the people that are in jobs are the people that are qualified for those jobs, that are able to deliver to the people. We've had the EFF talking about, it is a radical party, so it has been talking about jobs as well. It has been talking about land. It has been talking about taking away things like the tender system that is working at the moment, the BEE that is working at the moment. So at this moment, you find that this were the elections that were really not based on what people are going to offer, but what people are not going to offer, what has been offered to them. So at this moment, no political party actually has been clear on the deliverables, on how many of this are we going to make, how much the percentage of this are we going to deliver. And for me, that is a bit of a worry, because you're sitting in a situation where there has been a change, a great change, where people are tired of where they are, but still not sure of where they are going, but they know they don't want to be where they have been all these years.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Lucas Malloy, CEO of Junta Media, for joining us on Network Africa. Well, speaking of what people think, we're just going to show you a quick excerpt of what a cartoonist is saying about how things have changed or seemingly changed in South Africa. As you can see, the EFF, or a cartoon depicting the EFF, is comfortably seated right there, while the ruling ANC seems to be asking for a spot. And the EFF seems to be dominating that spot. But we'll have to wait to see how things play out in the general elections. And speaking of elections, Zambians are poised to head to the polls for tomorrow's highly anticipated presidential and parliamentary elections, in spite of safety concerns and division within the country. Without surprise, musicians have been used by candidates to drum up support. But some feel that artists should remain objective and instead play a role in preaching peace.
Musician Kachanana adds her voice to a song praising incumbent Zambian President Edgar Lungu. She is one of many musicians in the southern African country that have thrown their weight and popularity behind a political candidate ahead of the presidential and parliamentary polls to be held on Thursday, August the 11th.
I gravitated towards one political party that I felt had what it took to lead the nation further. So, of course, I have some fans who are not happy with that. And they'll come on your Facebook, they'll come on your social media pages, and they'll let you know that they're not happy. And there are others who are happy to see that you've taken some sort of stance. And as an artist, I feel like we shouldn't be neutral. We should have a stance. We shouldn't just say, oh, you know, whoever. We should have a stance. We should be informed about what's going on in the country, what are people offering, and we should be the mouthpieces for a lot of people out there.
President Lungu is expected to face opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema in another close contest after last year's neck-and-neck race. Lungu has been in power since winning elections in January 2015 after the death of his predecessor, Michael Sata.
Still to come on Network Africa, we look at the revival of grazing reserves right here in Nigeria.